There's okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is a session on Lees-McRae College, and I'll let them take it from here. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Lees-McRae session. My name is Amanda. I'm an Associate Director of Admission here at Lees-McRae. I have been at Lees-McRae for about 5 years now. So if you are within, let's say, about an hour in the 11 local counties to Avery County, North Carolina, I will be your admissions counselor. So I look forward to sharing a little bit more about Lees-McRae with you today. And I have another one of our admissions counselors, Josie Ann, with me, and I will let her introduce herself.
Awesome. Hi, folks. Yeah, so my name's Josie Ann. I just started working at Lees-McRae pretty recently, but I'm so excited to be here and hit the ground running. So I mostly work with students from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, as well as students from New England and the Mid-Atlantic states. So I'm really happy that you guys decided to learn some more about Lees-McRae, and we're really excited to let you know some stuff.
Oh, sorry, I'm on mute. All right. So how this is going to work is we're going to run through Lees-McRae, all the fun facts and the application information with you guys. If you hear anything that sparks a question, go ahead and drop that in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and we will be answering questions at the end of our session. We'll have plenty of time for Q&A. So we'll go ahead and get started. Lees-McRae College is up in Banner Elk, North Carolina. We are right on the North Carolina-Tennessee state line. So if you guys know where Appalachian is, we're about 30 minutes west of Appalachian. We were founded in 1900, so we are celebrating our 120th anniversary here in Banner Elk. So Banner Elk is a very small, tight-knit community. We're a very tourist-driven population. A lot of our tourists and visitors come up here, especially in the fall, as you can see in that picture on the left-hand side. Fall is an awesome time to visit the mountains. Shameless plug, we are open for visits, so we'll send that sign up your way towards the end. But if you want to come up and see it in person, we'd love to have you. Just a little bit more insight into our location. As you can see, I said before, we are on the North Carolina-Tennessee line. Boone is about 30 minutes, depending on what side of Boone you're going to, down the road. Johnson City, Tennessee is about 45 minutes, and then Asheville is about an hour and a half. There are multiple things to do in the area around Lees-McRae and Banner Elk. So we're the ski capital of the South, which we'll tell you more about in a little bit. We're situated between two ski resorts, Beach Mountain and Sugar Mountain. There's also multiple access points to the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then Grandfather Mountain, Linville Falls, and Hawks Nest Zip Line are popular tourist attractions in our area. And then here's just some more information about Sugar and Grandfather, which I said before. So here's a picture of Sugar in the dead of winter. A lot of our students love to go skiing and snowboarding and take advantage of that. And then Grandfather Mountain is also a popular tourist destination. It's the highest peak in our area, and they have the famous mile-high swinging bridge.
Yeah, so Lees-McRae is kind of a smaller college, but it definitely still feels, you're going to get a college vibe. We sit right around 1,000 students. We're looking to grow that number in the near future, though, by adding some more master's programs, as well as kind of beefing up some of our programs that right now are just offered as minors, but in the near future, definitely going to be looking to increase a little bit. But right now, we do sit right around 1,000 students. Awesome. And these are some recognitions that we've received over the past couple of years. So College of Distinction, as well as voted by US News Best College. and Phi Theta Kappa transfer honor roll. I think this one kind of speaks really to how easy it is for students to acclimate to campus. So this is going to be your home for the next 4 years. We want to make sure that you're able to find your community, find your tribe, find the people that you're going to be closest with. And I think the fact that we are very transfer friendly kind of speaks to how easy that process is. So another cool thing that we have at Lees-McRae is kind of this idea of cross-disciplinary studies. So if there's two things that you're super interested in, you'd be able to combine them together, whether that's through taking different general education courses, different elective classes, as well as the fact that we offer a couple different programs that are interdisciplinary. So a great one that we like to talk about is our mock disaster day. So it brings the criminal justice, nursing, and theater art students all together for one big project. The theater students get to use their improv skills by acting as victims of a big accident. The nursing students get to deal with real patients, and the criminal justice students gets to take kind of witness statements and making sure that crowd control is going okay. So being able to bring all those groups together to have one big final project is really awesome. And we'll kind of talk about some more ways that you can get involved with those projects later on in the presentation.
So we do have 24 majors here on campus. And we'll kind of dive into the 4 different schools, if I can get the presentation to move. There we go. The 4 different schools that all of our majors are divided into. So the School of Arts, Humanities, and Education is going to house all of our communication arts programs, and they have special concentrations in studio art, communication arts, which is kind of like your graphic design, your Photoshop classes, and then creative marketing as well, if you want to use your artistic skills for marketing, PR, advertising, all of those fun things. And then we do have a couple of different education programs. So elementary education, musical theater education, special education, all of those education programs. We do have a 98% pass rate on our teacher certification exam, so we do have a strong education program. And then you can see all of those theater arts programs as well. And then theater arts education is one of those cross-disciplinary studies that Josiane was telling you about earlier. And then over in the School of Business and Management, students can get their general business administration degree, or there are different focuses within that one too. Finance, marketing, accounting, and then Lees-McRae is actually one of the only schools in the country that houses an outdoor recreation program within our School of Business. So students will actually graduate with essentially what's a business management degree with a focus on outdoor recreation and outdoor leadership. So if students want to go into the park service, or if they want to be like a rafting guide or a hiking guide or something like that, outdoor recreation is a great option for you. And then a lot of our athletes like to take advantage of sports management. So with sports management, you can go into coaching, you can open your own recruiting firm, or run summer camps for students, anything like that. Sports management will get you there as well. And then our other 2 schools are Natural and Behavioral Sciences, and then School of Nursing and Health Sciences. So Natural and Behavioral Sciences is where some of our most popular programs live. Wildlife biology and anything in the animal sciences are by far our most popular programs here on campus. We are the only school in the Eastern United States with a rehabilitation center right on our campus. We rehab about 1,800 animals every year right here in our rehab center with our full-time vet who's on staff. If animal sciences aren't your thing though, we do have, general biology for those pre-med students, criminal justice, and then we just added exercise science and nutrition along with pre-physical therapy majors this year. So we're really excited to offer those to you guys. Over in the School of Nursing and Health Sciences, we do have a 4-year BSN program. I know we have a lot of nursing interest in North and South Carolina, so if that's something that you're interested in, our nursing school is super awesome. It's one of my favorite buildings on campus. The whole second floor is set up like a hospital simulator, so our nursing students can actually work hands-on in a hospital simulation setting before you have to go out and actually work on real people. And then we also have a 4-year emergency medical services program as well for all those students that are interested in paramedicine, or if you want to work with the Red Cross or something like that too.
So most of our minors kind of shadow our majors. There are a couple programs that are offered on a smaller basis. So most of our minors, you would take between 10 and 15 courses in order to get that minor on your degree. Some of the ones that we offer that are kind of their own smaller programs would be like our Appalachian Studies program, which is super awesome. It really goes into the history of the Appalachian Mountains. There's different weaving courses that you can take, instrumental courses, art courses, as well as learning about like the actual physical history of the area. So it's really awesome, really cool. Another program that we offer only as a minor is our tech theater program, which is, again, super awesome. If you're into the theater arts, the tech theater is kind of like the behind the scenes things that are going on. So if you're not wanting to be on stage but still part of theater, tech theater would be a great spot for you. Athletic coaching kind of is very similar to our sports management, but athletic coaching is kind of its own minor in our School of Business and Management. Cycling studies is another one that's its own separate program. This one's really popular with our cycling team. We do have a Division I cycling team on campus, and they compete at a national level, which is really awesome. We love to brag about that. But the cycling studies minor is really awesome for students who want to be able to advocate for bicycle-friendly communities. So you learn how to turn those communities into bicycle-friendly areas, as well as how to advocate for different projects that you might be interested in at like a town hall meeting or something of that sort. Another minor that we have is our ski industry business and instruction minor, which, again, being where we are in the mountains is super awesome that students are able to take advantage of not only the mountains, but also the fact that we're able to offer classroom instruction in non-traditional classroom settings. So we'll kind of talk about that a little bit more later on. Another great one that we have is our wilderness medicine minor, which, again, is super awesome, really popular with some of our animal science people, as well as nursing and EMS. Then Miss Amanda, if you want to skip to the next slide. There we go, perfect. Another minor, mathematics. So if you're interested in math, if that's your jam, great thing to add as a minor, as well as our wildlife rehabilitation. So that one's really popular with our wildlife biology students, especially with our rehab center right on campus. If you're interested in making sure that animals are thriving, the rehab minor is going to be a great spot for you. So we've got majors, we've got minors. We also have certifications. So these ones are kind of like weekend-long courses that you guys would take kind of to beef up your resume. So if you were really interested in something, but more curious about it than interested, I guess, our certifications are a great option for you. So you've got your classroom experience, you've got internships and job experience, and then you also will have these certifications on your resume as well. A really popular one that we have is our scuba diving instruction class, which is super helpful here in the mountains, but everybody loves it. So students will have their scuba diving course right on campus. We have a saltwater pool, and by the end of the weekend, they're licensed scuba divers, which is really awesome if it's something that you really wanted to do but never have had the chance to. Hey, you can do it right here at Lees-McRae. Another really cool one that we have is our Wilderness Emergency MedTech program, which is, again, really popular with nursing and EMS students, as well as outdoor recreation management, ski industry, even our criminal justice students who are interested in being like park rangers or search and rescue. So there's tons of awesome stuff going on. Great ways to get involved on campus outside of the classroom.
Okay, so since we are so small, we can take quite a bit of advantage of experiential education. We have multiple opportunities for experiential education here on campus through a lot of our different majors. I talked about it with the wildlife rehab and nursing specifically, but when Josie Ann was talking about our mock disaster scenario, that's another opportunity for experiential education for students. But we also have study abroad and what we call study away trips. So maybe you've been thinking about study abroad, but you're a little apprehensive about traveling around the world right now, or you just kind of want to get your feet wet with a study away trip. So we do offer domestic trips. This picture that we're looking at is a group that went out to the big 5 national parks out west. And so another one of those cross-disciplinary opportunities as well. This is outdoor recreation, history, and the English programs. And what they did when they got out west is they hiked around the big 5 national parks, and whenever they got to their campsite for that night, they read poetry or works from authors of the Great American West. So that's kind of how they merged those programs together. And then students got to pick what kind of credit they needed for that class. But that is one example of our study away trips. We do have some groups pending international pandemics and all of that fun stuff. We have some trips planned for Italy, Cuba, Jamaica, and I think Iceland is in the works as well. So lots of opportunities to take short-term study abroad trips, or we do have a study abroad coordinator on campus if you wanted to study a semester away as well. And then we also have an honors program that students can take advantage of. So once you apply, you're automatically considered for entry into the honors program, and we'll talk about how that scholarship works a little later in the presentation. But our honors program in college is a little bit different than what you're experiencing in high school. So it's not a totally separate curriculum, but there are honors components built into classes that you're already going to be taking as a new student here at Lees-McRae. And you'll do a little bit deeper dive into what other students in your classes are already doing. So you could do a little more challenging research project, or you'll have a deeper dive into conversations in those honors classes. And then there's also networking opportunities and study away opportunities for honors students as well. And then I'll let Josie Ann talk to you about our master's program.
Yeah, so Lees-McRae has something that's really awesome. It's our 4+1 Masters of Art in Teaching. So with just 2 extra semesters, you'd be able to leave Lees-McRae with 2 degrees. You'd have your bachelor's and your master's. So again, just 2 extra semesters after you receive your bachelor's, and you'd get both of them. And even if you didn't major in biology, English, or history, or education as an undergraduate, you can still enter into this master's program. Our biology program is done online, so if you wanted to join into the workforce while you're getting your master's, totally an option. Whereas the English and the history programs are both right here on Lees-McRae main campus. So if you're interested in staying an extra year, you totally can. But yeah, we're looking to grow our master's programs in the near future. So by the time you guys get here and you're thinking about master's programs, which I'm sure seems like forever away for you, by the time you're at a spot where you're going to be applying, there's a good chance that Lees-McRae is going to have some more programs to offer as well. Yes, this is my favorite one. So this is the May Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. So this is what Amanda was talking about, how we're the only college in the Northeast, Southeast that has a rehab center right here on our campus. So this is, again, super popular with our wildlife biology program, as well as any of our students involved in the animal sciences. And they rehab like 1,500 to 1,800 animals every year. So say a community member found a bird with a broken wing or an animal had been hit by a vehicle, community members can bring that animal right to the rehab center. Students are able to work with it, of course, under the guidance of advisors, professors, and our veterinary, who is right here on campus, and make sure that that animal is good and ready to go. And then once it is, we're able to release it back into the wild. So super awesome that students are able to get this hands-on experience while they're getting their undergrad, which is super awesome. Also, students who are interested in our animal sciences have a great retention rate for getting into their top veterinary finishing school, which again is another thing that we love to be able to talk about. And there even is work study in the Wildlife Rehab Center. So your work study kind of goes through your FAFSA and your financial aid, but there would be an option for you to work right at the rehab center, right on campus. This one's one of my favorite ones to talk about also. So if you're like me and you kind of thrive in a non-traditional classroom, you'd be super interested to learn about our satellite classroom at Beech Mountain. So Beech is one of those really close mountains. It's like 25 minutes away. So if you've never skied or snowboarded, or it's something that you've always wanted to do, or you really like doing it and you want to do it more, there's actually options for you to take general education courses and elective classes, or even pick up a full minor right at Beech Mountain. So you're able to get classroom instruction on top of the mountain, as well as take advantage of using the slopes, which again, what kind of college can you go to where you can do that and then drive 20 minutes back to campus and there's green grass? It's amazing. But yeah, so super awesome. If you are someone who knows that you do a little bit better in a non-traditional classroom, I definitely would suggest looking into some of our ski courses. We also partner with Beech Mountain for a student discounted rate. So throughout the winter time, if you guys wanted to get a season pass, you'd be able to use your student ID to get that knocked down a little bit. So Amanda, if you want to go into this one.
Yep, sorry, I'm having a little bit of issue with my mute button. All right, so May School of Nursing and Health Sciences. This is just a small snippet of what I was telling you guys about earlier about how the second floor of our nursing school is set up like a hospital simulator. So this is just one corner where students practice the foundational elements of nursing. So they're starting IVs and doing catheters and taking vitals and all of those fun things on this side of the simulation lab. And then on the other side, we have a full birthing simulator, long-term care, critical care, and then a full-sized apartment as well for students to practice home health. Hayes Auditorium and Broyhill Theater. So this was recently renovated just a couple of years ago, but basically any aspect of theater that students are interested in, they can get that hands-on experience here at Lees-McRae. So we have 3 productions throughout the school year and then 3 more during the summer with our summer acting company. And students get experience with lighting, set design, choreography. Let's see, obviously the acting component is one of the key parts of theater, right? But then students also get experience with directing and stage management as well. So kind of what Josie Ann was saying, we have all of those theater programs in place. So if theater really is your passion, but you want to take a deeper dive into the administrative side, or you want to learn more about the set design or technical things, you can do that here at Lees-McRae. We have so much more to offer than just acting, but we can certainly support that if that is your passion as well. And then we have, we'll jump into some of our food services offerings here on campus. So new students are automatically enrolled in an unlimited meal plan when their first year here. So we have unlimited meal plan in the cafeteria, and then we also offer Starbucks coffee and kind of like your pub style food in Wiley's. Wiley's is named after our mascot, Wiley Bobcat, and this is kind of like our late night hangout on campus. Students will come in here and get their late night munchies, your fries, your tots, your burgers, things like that, and then hang out. We have some pretty heated trivia nights at Wiley's. And then there's also, to the left of the picture, there's a full game room. So pool tables, air hockey, let's see what else is in there, ping pong, foosball, all those fun things that you can take advantage of after your long day of classes. And then Einstein's Bagel is kind of the opposite of that. That's your morning stop. So Wiley's and Einstein's are both another part of your meal plan. If you want to stop in the morning, grab your coffee, grab a bagel, or even they have some pretty good lunch bagels and salads in there as well. Josiane, you want to talk about fitness?
Oh, heck yeah, I do. So we are a pretty student athlete high rate school. About 50% of our population, student population, are student athletes, which is super awesome. If that's not your thing, totally cool. We have the Broyhill Wellness Center right on campus, so that's kind of more for the everyday average Joes who just want to get their sweat on. We've got some basic lifting equipment as well as some cardio equipment. So if you're not with a sports team and you kind of just want to keep doing your own thing, totally awesome. You'd be able to do that right in Broyhill Wellness Center. If you're someone who kind of needs a little bit more private space to exercise, there also is a cardio theater in the student rec space, as well as a full gym, basketball court, gym. If that space is often used by some of our sports teams for practice areas, and that space is kind of multi-purpose. So I know right now with social distancing and things like that, we're taking advantage of that extra space. But so this is a snapshot of our cheer group having one of their practices right at the student rec space. Another cool thing that they offer is our rock climbing wall, which is super cool. If you're someone who really likes to do that, you're in luck. There's a couple different free climb nights on campus. So you just be able to show up, grab a bag of chalk and do your thing. We also do have a competitive rock climbing club on campus, which again is super awesome. Love to talk about it. They compete all over the area. There's over 60 different bouldering choices for you outdoors if you're an outdoors climber, right in the area within like an hour. So you're in a great spot to be active outside, or if indoors your thing, or if you're a beginner, you totally would be able to take advantage of the rock climbing wall right here on campus. Yes.
So kind of hand in hand with all those fun outdoorsy things Josiane just told y'all about. We are a silver bicycle friendly campus through the League of American Bicyclists. I mean, how can we have a cycling studies minor and not be a bicycle friendly campus? So if you're a cyclist or if you just want to bike around campus for fun, you can definitely bring your bike and hang out with us. And then one of our other outdoor accolades, we were named Top Adventure College by Blue Ridge Outdoor Magazine for 2020 and 2018. We were Top Small Adventure College in 2019, and those are sponsored by Eno. So we actually won a couple of Eno hammock pods that are placed around campus. So we do, as you saw from the pictures earlier, we do have a very scenic campus. So students love to hang out in their Enos. We have nice weather and study or just chat with each other outside. Along with that are some outdoor programs opportunities. So outdoor programs takes trips throughout the school year at very low or no cost to students. And these are just a handful of the trips that they take. So if you've always wanted to say you go stand up paddleboarding, because that's what I've always wanted to learn how to do, outdoor programs actually just got back from a paddleboarding trip. So they took students out to Price Lake, which is right off of the Parkway. and they just went paddleboarding for a whole Saturday. If you can't make it to one of the trips Outdoor Programs takes, they do have a free rental program here on campus as well. So if you wanted to rent a paddleboard or a fly fishing rod or tents, hammocks, what have you, you just stop by Outdoor Programs and say, hey, this is what I need. And as long as you bring it back, they won't charge you for it. So in addition to Outdoor Programs, we do have a disc golf course here on campus. So if you wanted to take a Saturday and go hang out at the disc golf course, you can rent the disc from Outdoor Programs. Fun fact about our golf course equipment, disc golf course equipment, a couple of our students actually wrote a grant for this. So we didn't pay anything for it. Some of our business students wrote a business plan and a grant, and we were awarded all the equipment. So that's down by our mill pond and the athletic complex.
I think especially with the disc golf course also, it really speaks to how adaptable we are. So if there's something on campus that you wanted to see happen, we want to make it happen too. Yeah. But we do also offer 22 Division II sports teams and 1 Division I sports team, our cycling team. They are super awesome. There's a snapshot of our athletic fields coming up. It is gorgeous, absolutely. And then our club sports, skiing and snowboarding, they're super competitive. They go all over the country and they're able to recruit just the same as any of our other sports teams. And same thing with rock climbing. I kind of talked about that. If you're really interested in it, we'd be more than happy to get you in touch with any of the coaches for any sports that you see listed here. Another cool thing that kind of talks about how adaptable we are is our esports program. So I think there's something like close to 30 high schools in North Carolina that have esports competing at the high school level. And we said, hey, that's super awesome. We want to be able to do that here too. So it's something that students were interested in that we wanted to be able to provide on campus. And guess what? We can. So our esports team, they compete in 4 different video games. They have their own esports court right on campus. And again, it kind of just speaks to if there's a club or a sport or anything kind of going on at Lees-McRae that you think there could be a lot of students interested in, or even just you and a couple of friends, we want to be able to make that happen. School spirit's super high, as you can see. The stands are filled at this one particular basketball game, but that's pretty common for all of our sporting events. Lees-McRae is the town of Banner Elk, and the town of Banner Elk is Lees-McRae. So not only do we have students who are coming out to support our athletic teams, but the community loves to show up as well. This is just a snapshot of our cycling team. As I mentioned, they are Division I. Super awesome. We love to talk about them. They're a nationally ranked team, as well as having nationally ranked men's and women's cyclists. Fun little tidbit. Whenever they ride past, they're always wearing the same cycling suit. So it looks like you're watching the same thing over and over and over again, but that's just me. Yes, and so this is a snapshot of our athletic complex. So it's got our track and field, our tennis courts, softball, lacrosse, and soccer fields as well. And then you can see our athletic facility, which houses our basketball game court, as well as our saltwater pool and our athletic weight room. So Miss Amanda, if you want to, there we go. So if there was ever a time, if you guys are interested in participating in athletics on campus, if there was ever a time that you had like a team lift going on, say the soccer team would book out the athletic room from 5 to 7 on a Tuesday night, you wouldn't have to worry about sharing that space with our non-athlete students, and they wouldn't have to worry about being intimidated by the whole soccer team coming in at once and kind of doing some heavy lifting. But so this is a great option that we are able to provide for our teams when they're in season and when they're out of season. Awesome. Miss Amanda, I'll let you take over.
All right. So as we wrap up, we definitely want to talk to you about the most important thing about college is the application process. So we have 3 different applications that you guys can take advantage of. We do have our own application on our website, and you can see the link right there. We also participate in Common App. That's a first for us this year. And then cfnc.org. So if you guys are holding out for free application week, you can definitely do that through CFNC. That website link right there is also free as well. So if you don't want to wait until CFNC week, you can apply for free through our website. Some requirements after you submit your application. Common App right now does have that $25 application fee, or you guys can apply for free through those other 2 sites that I told you about. High school and or college transcripts, we'll need those, along with a 250 to 650 word essay, and then an academic letter of recommendation. We are test optional, so you're more than welcome to submit your scores. It will only help you if you submit them, but it will not hurt you if you don't. So either way, go ahead and get those to us, and we'll take a look at all of that, and you'll have an admissions decision within about 2 weeks. All right, so here's what all the parents want to know about, right? What's it going to cost me? So at Lees-McRae for this upcoming year, your total sticker price, if you will, is a little above $40,000. That being said, we are about 10% more cost effective than any other private school in North Carolina. And none of our students really pay that total price that you're looking at right now. So once you apply, you're automatically considered for academic scholarships and the couple of other things, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But one other thing that we like to reinforce here is that this tuition and fee structure is all encompassing. Your food, your room, even your books are included in this fee structure. The only extra fee that you'll incur while you're here is an optional parking pass. So everything is included in that. And then once you are admitted, these other scholarships come into place. So with the application process, once you get your admissions packet, you're automatically notified of any academic merit that you're eligible for. We do award those based on weighted GPA. So the higher your GPA, the more academic scholarship you're going to be eligible for. Then we also offer an honor scholarship that is stackable on top of that. This year, that's for students with a 3.75 or above. And then we do have performance-based scholarships as well. So theater, athletics, and then we have a couple of other scholarships that are offered through a couple of our different academic programs too. All right, so FAFSA actually opens tomorrow. That's how we award most of our other grants and scholarships through Lees-McRae. There are a handful of those programmatic scholarships that I was telling you about on our website, but FAFSA is going to be the most important part of your financial aid. So if money is your biggest concern, fill out the FAFSA. It opens tomorrow, and you can actually put up to 10 schools on your FAFSA, and you can see our school code right there, or you can search us by name to make sure that all of that information gets sent to our financial aid office. And then finally, if you decide that Lees-McRae is the fit for you, once you pay your enrollment deposit and make that commitment, Libby Gregg automatically becomes your counselor. So the Office of New Student Engagement is new for us this year, and Libby is there to really bridge the gap between home and college life. She's there to help you make sure you're getting your room assignment, all your health forms are in, all of your final transcripts are done, you're checking off those final things before you move in. And then she's also your counselor your first semester of freshman year as well, to make sure you're getting connected with all those important offices on campus. You know where to go, and you're getting acclimated just great. And then lastly, our social media accounts. So this is where we'll post important reminders, tips for the application process, fun facts that are going on around campus. I've heard rumors we're also getting ready to create a TikTok account, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm sure we'll have lots of fun things to watch on there. But definitely follow our social media accounts for important updates. And I think that's all we have to share with you guys. And Josiane, do we have any questions so far?
Yes, so Andrew was asking about the CFNC free application week, which of course we do participate in. So if you're waiting to apply till then, no problem. We're more than happy to review your application whenever we get it. And then Haley had a question about animal sciences and if zoology falls into those animal sciences. So as a wildlife biology major, some of your introductory classes would be focusing on zoology and mammalogy, focusing on birds and reptiles and all the cool stuff going on. Elk Valley Field Reserve is really awesome. They have a lab classroom right there at the field, which is about 5 miles off campus. And then they also do have a couple 100 acres of nature, pretty much. So fields, plants, bugs, birds, animals, creepy crawlies, fish. So there's tons of cool stuff going on. You're definitely going to be able to get your fulfillment through there. Alana's asking about our diversity rate. We do stay right around 15% diversity rate, but we are 4 hours from Chattanooga, an hour and a half from Asheville, and 2.5 from Charlotte. So if you're really looking for that big city, kind of all forms of life diversity, we're just a day trip away.
And we also just started, in terms of diversity, we just started a student club called WOKE on campus. Because it's new, the acronym is not popping in my head right now, but it's really to embrace all of the diverse backgrounds from our students on campus. So they meet every week. They talk about different cultures, obviously the current events that are happening around our nation, and just how students are responding and feeling about that. So we definitely support different diversities on campus. And to kind of piggyback off of what Josiane was saying about the wildlife program, we have a wildlife biology major and a wildlife major with a focus on rehabilitation. So the way we differentiate both of those is if you want to work more hands-on with animals, but you don't exactly want to go all the way to vet school, wildlife rehabilitation is going to be your jam. That's where we were talking about, we have that surgical suite where students work with our full-time vet and help animals through the rehabilitation process. You'll learn about feeding patterns. They even do x-rays and different kind of things down there. And then wildlife biology is a little more hands-off, a little more research-based, and that's who uses that field station that Josiane was telling you guys about. You'll study migration patterns, different environmental impacts on animal habitats and things like that.
Awesome. But if you guys have any questions after the webinar ends, feel free to shoot an email to admissions@lmc.edu, and we will be in touch with you super quick, be able to answer any of those questions that you might have after the webinar is over.
I think we have a couple more minutes if anybody has any burning questions they want to get answered.
See, I know Tiffany's on here. Tiffany hasn't asked a question.
Oh, call out. Sorry, Tiffany. Let's see. So if you guys want to set up a visit, you can definitely go to this lmc.edu website. Our visit calendar is right there. We do have 2 visits every day throughout the week and 3 on the weekends. So feel free if you want to come see us in person. Definitely set up a visit. We'd love to show you around. Otherwise, I think we're wrapping up unless anybody has one last question.
Yes, Haley does. Haley wants to know if it's possible to join athletic sports without previously being involved. Our coaches are more than happy to talk with you, but there's also the option of doing club sports or kicking it around with your friends instead of committing to the competitiveness of a Division II collegiate sport. But yeah, totally. We'd be more than happy to put you in touch with any of our coaches.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for attending. Hope everybody has a good night.
Thank you.